Good morning, everyone. This is Matt Coakley, Mag Plus Creative Director, coming to you live from New York. Can everybody hear me out there? Hopefully, I've got this working. You're going to have to bear with me a little bit. This is my first time hosting one of these things, so hopefully, we can accomplish everything that you guys were hoping to see today. We're going to try and run through a few of our clients' cool and innovative bits of design. So please weigh in the chat room. Hopefully, we can get to some of the nitty gritty that you're hoping to see. So we're going to open with a page from the November issue of Maxim magazine. I'd like to show you kind of how the transition began. So this is the original document. Here, the printed page from their December issue. And as you can see, it's quite elaborate. You know, some bits and pieces, typical Maxim fashion. You've got 4 pieces of content with some illustrations and photography and some blocks of copy, and then this kind of sidebar, nicely arranged using their typical graphic devices. So through a straight copy and paste, it was imported over here into our Mag Plus template. You can see how vertical the template is. It can go as deep as you'd like it to. The designer on this particular project chose to compartmentalize it and keep it confined to the interior space of the template. This particular layout was locked to portrait view. You can see that over here. Maxim is committed to going portrait on all of their issues since November, mostly for ease of use, but it seemed most of their readers have chosen to consume the content in that manner. Missing a few fonts right now, but we can walk you through the basics of how to kind of achieve what you're seeing here. So this is how the page shapes up when it is actually posted on your device. So you've got an HTML block that allows the illustration and photography to get a bit bigger than it did in the printed material. Again, it's built through our HTML feature builder, which can be found at feature.magplus.com. And this is a simple and easy to use process. My iPad simulator here is lagging behind a little bit, as is everything else. So I'll walk you through in a moment how to achieve all of these bits and pieces. Got a scrolling sidebar. Very nicely done by the designer on this project. So this is how it was created. We're going to get this out of the way. Move up and into the actual template itself. By all means, if you have any questions during the kind of tutorial and composition, please weigh in the chat room, and hopefully I'll be able to get to your question at the end of this kind of tutorial. So you can see in the boundaries here that each of these entries have been laid out individually to fit the format designated up here within the template space. So this box, which measures 96 millimeters wide by 147 millimeters high, is the exact dimensions required for each of these entry points to be viewable. And how that's achieved in the iOS simulator here, you can see it side by side, which is handy, is via the HTML feature builder. So we're going to log in. Again, feature.magplus.com. You're going to log in using your MagPlus credentials, and you're going to start a project by clicking on images. These are a few projects here that we're building it for a demo. These are always stored in case you have to go back and edit them later, or if you want to swap photos out. It's a really, really handy feature of MagPlus. So we'll start by clicking images. We'll give this project a name. We'll just call it Maxim Slideshow Gloves. Just dropped to about 17 degrees here in New York City, so gloves are on everyone's minds. Not sure where the rest of you are coming from, but it is a must-have this week. So we'll just give it a quick description. We'll say 4 panels. And again, we go back to the measurements. and we will 96 by 147. And slide right through. And then we select gallery with thumbnails. So that's the project. You have an option of 5 here. We're hoping to build out the feature builder to include some other HTML elements as we progress into 2012. But for now, these are the basics that seem to handle everyone's requests. So we go into that selection mode, add some images. You go and find it. You can select all or one at a time. Click open. It's going to load. We'll click save. And here we have the opportunity to define and customize this a little bit further. So there you have your images exactly as you would see them in the layout. We'll click on settings, and we're going to go ahead and change this down to transparent background because this little black bar over here on the left might be a little intrusive, so it'd be nice to have a bit more of a cohesive look. We'll do a preview, so online you can see exactly how it's going to look in your layout. And these arrows left and right, if you go deeper or wider, I should say, than perhaps 4 panels, you can have your end user scroll through to get to more imagery. And there you have it. So that's exactly how it's going to look in the iOS simulator or on your iPad. And once you're done there, just click export, and you're going to have to designate where you'd want it downloaded to. We're going to send this to our desktop and then just import it. There we go. And then we just unzip and give the build file a different name just to make sure there's no confusion on my part. Notorious for getting tied up in my folder alignment. So back into the InDesign document. Again, we're just going to delete this one out. And we're going to define this block, as you can see over here in the Mag Plus palette, as HTML. And then we're going to go and find the file, exactly the way you would attach a photograph. We are looking for our desktop, our man skills folder. Actually, build 3. See, I wasn't lying. I get confused. There we go. So, and then we can import a PNG file so that isn't a blank image when your users export. So we drag the PNG directly in there, and you have this lovely little position holder. So now, again, to send it over to the iOS simulator, we're going to hit Fast Review. It's going to process the project, and there you have it. The black bar has disappeared. There's a little bit of a slight crop on the images down at the bottom that can be adjusted by manually Photoshop cropping the thumbnails. But there you have it. A little bit cleaner. Black box has disappeared. We lost the heads of our gentlemen callers, but for the most part, it's just that simple. Any particular questions there? I'm going to pop into the chat room real quick and see if anybody had anything to say. Okay, I see Christina there was asking about horizontal formats if you don't want to lock it. And yes, you absolutely could do that if you'd like. We can try this real quick and dirty. Let's see what we can achieve here. Give me a second to figure this one out. But let's say we were to... this one is a little bit complicated. I'll dig something else out to kind of demonstrate that alternating layout. So, but then this little bit over here on the left, which is this sliding sidebar, is achieved through HTML as well, but this is not an option found in our HTML feature builder. This is something that is basic HTML code, which can be found on the web. We have access to it here in our studios. If anyone would like to reach out, I can send it off. My email address is matt, M-A-T-T, @magplus.com. I'd be more than happy to share that with you guys. But essentially, it's the exact same process. Define the box as HTML, and you go and you find the file. So this one is called, in a sliders folder called ticker, and we'll just go and look for that in our, there we go, sliders folder. There's the HTML there. We could open that up in a, I don't see, I'm looking for Text Wrangler, which is an HTML line code application which can help you adjust the parameters of your sliding text box. I'm not on my usual machine here, folks, so forgive the delay in capability. It doesn't look like we have Text Wrangler here, but it's something you can easily find on the web. Do a quick Google search for Text Wrangler. And you're going to be able to open that code and adjust the parameters of the box. So here it is, bare bones, Text Wrangler. You can download the general text editor and adjust the box sizes. So you can see real quick how deep the rabbit hole goes on this particular slide. So we're missing a few fonts here. Again, this was Maxim's project. We downloaded it to our in-house computers here. But you lay it out exactly as you'd like it to flow. You export a JPEG or a PNG, something to that effect, open up in Photoshop and rescale, and then bring it attach it in your HTML text editor. And that is essentially what turns into this over here on the left. Super clean, super simple, very easy to achieve. So again, Matt at magplus.com. Be more than happy to share that code with you. I'm going to pop back into the chat room real quick and check in on questions. Let's see if we have anything coming up. It looks like we've got someone manning the helm, so appreciate that. I hope that's Anders on the back end. Quick shout out to Anders over in Sweden. Everybody's up at all hours right now helping out. So we're going to get into another document here to show something kind of cool. Let me kind of move out of this one, and we're going to log into our Dropbox server. And we'll pull something from one of our clients, Outside Magazine. Not sure if many of you are kind of familiar with what they're doing over there, but beautiful, beautiful book. Great editorial. We're going to pull out Dispatches, which is typically a gorgeous looking feature. So bear with me a second while we get this downloaded. It should take a few seconds. Any particular questions about basic design, layout, things like that? I see my one of my counterparts, Dave Hemmerd, is giving a shout out to some of the tutorials on pinning, which can be found on our Vimeo account. Looks like our download is ready. Got Mag+ zip. I'm going to open that up. So there we have a selection of pages. So it looks like this was a feature that was digested into several documents. So we're going to open all three and see what we find, and I'll walk you through anything cool that we can find within the document itself. So Outside Magazine has made a commitment to the A/B layer functionality of Mag+, and on some occasions they actually commit to doing B layer only design. Looks like most of these documents here are your basic A/B layer philosophy. It's chopped up into a couple of different pages. Up here is a neat little trick done to put in paging slugs. So you can see first look buried here and here. And what that does is it's just a little design trick so that in the different orientations, you've got portrait, you've got a slug there, and you've got landscape, and it shows up there. So basically, as the user kind of rotates through the article, depending on the orientation, one of those two slugs will show up. It's a little bit of a cheat, but sometimes it's a little easier than using snapping or pinning. If you have for instance, a caption box, if you snapped or pinned this first look slug, it might bump into the text over here. So we'll do a quick fast review on this just to take a look at. Oh, there we go. We'll save it down. Hit fast review. So there we have it. So our scrolling A layer. Okay, so there's our slugging device there in the upper left. And I want to be able to show you guys how the horizontal orientation works, and I've actually never used this simulator, so I'm at a loss for how to achieve that the horizontal orientation. Forgive me for that there, folks. So let me see here. There we go. There it is. So there's that slugging device. Shows up there. If we turn the A layer off, we should be able to see that slugging device in that orientation as well. So again, depending on your taste and how savvy you think your end users are, this may not be the route you want to go for this particular trick, but it is quite handy. So double tap again. There we have it. So super simple bit of functionality, nice little design trick. Let's see if we can go into something else with a bit more pizzazz. Okay. So any other questions here? Checking in. So MC Scram is asking about the conversion time for an InDesign page to an iPad page. On average, according to basically my opinion, it's about 10 to 12 minutes to convert a previously printed InDesign page into a Mag Plus page. Basically, you're just tweaking the design. The ratio is not 1-to-1, but it's close, and it literally is just a couple of custom design solutions in order to get everything to fit. Referring back to Christina's question, if you wanted to make that InDesign document fit both orientations, you're going to need a little bit more time. So you want to set some things to the snapping and pinning B layer. That'll take a couple of minutes here and there, but the actual conversion for a full horizontal and portrait-oriented solution shouldn't take more than 15-20 minutes. But that's provided you have some experience with the tool set itself. So let's dive into one of those real quick. We'll take a printed page and see if we can't dissect it to the point where we can send it. It fits both orientations. So let me find. Where's my doc? We'll go back to the Maxim page real quick. I'm just going to create another page within this one that was previously built. So there we have it. I'll do a quick copy and paste here. So there are all of my elements from that particular page. As you can see, the scale doesn't quite match up 1-to-1, but we can have some quick fun with this and see if we can't get something to spark your imagination on the back end. So let's pull most of this out. Tuck it in over there. We're going to bring these guys together. And now, again, this is going to be quick and dirty, so forgive my aesthetics. We're going to move these up to our A layer there, as well as most of the text blocks right here. We'll extend this tool. So, does anybody have a stopwatch on me here? Get a good estimate for conversion. Again, it's a sloppy conversion, so we'll give or take 2 or 3 minutes for being anal retentive about it. But let's say, let's ping these guys in here like this. Actually, just for expediency's sake, I'm going to leave that one off and just bring in some of the creative elements. So resize. And now all of these elements right here are already on our B layer, snapping and pinning B layer. So what I'm going to want to do, once I adjust, is designate the side to which they'll pin. So I'm going to group them together like this. And over here in our tool palette, we're going to snap to the right. Bottom, we're going to turn off. Okay. Everything else, we're going to group. Bring this in. And we'll make this a no B, let's see, A layer follows B layer design. And we'll do a quick fast review. Okay, so there's our quick and dirty document. You can see how, oh, we don't got everything on the A layer there. We can go back and fix that real quick. Again, the beauty of Mag Plus is the ability to change and adapt on the fly because you can see these designs instantly. So I left those guys on the B layer, and that's why they're not scrolling up. Okay. And now one of the main things to Mag Plus working the way it does is making sure everything is grouped before export. So if some of you have been in on these webinars before, you're already familiar with that functionality, but we get that call quite a bit. How come things aren't showing up? I get white boxes where I have text or photos. It's because the software interprets the layers, the hierarchy that you've created in InDesign. So if you don't group it, the software is just going to generally interpret where things fall, and some boxes are going to get knocked out and some aren't. So by grouping it, it retains that hierarchy that you've defined for yourself or your client that works. So again, we'll go back to fast review. Take a quick and dirty look at this. We're going to move up past that page, the very first page there. So here we are. We have our A layer, which scrolls. So quick and dirty. We're going to rotate left and, oh, we've got the orientation locked. Making some mistakes myself this morning, so coffee hasn't totally kicked in. So we'll get that fixed. And again, it's kind of nice to be able to show you guys how quick you can adjust to mistakes. All right, here we There we go. So auto orientations reset. We're going to rotate left, and there it is. That little B layer snaps out to the side. We could define the rest of these in the same way if we wanted to. There's our scrolling A layer. Now, because I did this quick and dirty, if you turn that off, there's nothing on that B layer to show, but the snapping and pinning layer stays put. Now, one other thing, we keep saying snapping and pinning. Pinning is when things go left, right, top, or bottom automatically. Snapping is when you want to lock or have an A layer jump into place. So here's our A layer. Again, over in the production, the plugin, set snap to outer top, inner top, or top. We're going to set this one to top so it comes down in the horizontal orientation. And we'll do a quick, fast review. So here we go. You can see how that just kind of jumps up into place there. Again, going back to the snapping and pinning, you can see these captions and photos are running into that deck. It's kind of one of those things you have to be aware of, and you want to make sure you always, always, always review your work on the device or in the iOS simulator before sending off to a client or showing to one of your bosses, because things like that happen all the time. So there it is. That's quick and dirty. You can see it snap into place again. We'll do one more quick rotation. See how it readjusts itself to kind of fit into the horizontal format. If we wanted to, we can take this entire layer, put it on the snapping and pinning layer, and we'll snap this left. So let's take a look at how that shapes up. Okay, so you can see where that fits in right now. We're going to rotate left. Everything comes back together. Super easy. A couple clicks of a button in the drop-down menu, and that's kind of your conversion. Again, a couple of more minutes to fit everything into place, but you can see how quickly a pre-printed InDesign page can be converted. I hope that answers MC Scram's questions. Okay, so MC Scram's asking about iOS and Android. It does actually. The toolbar that you see in the iOS edition is permanent in the Android edition right now. So you're going to see that kind of tool set, which can be found here. Content, bookmarks, review, refresh, etc. Will be live in the Android editions. There are templates coming for the Fire that will allow for the customization. Again, the whole philosophy of Mag Plus is your content is worth the custom design. Just kind of cramming it into a cookie cutter will do the job and do it just fine. But for those of you out there who really believe in design and the benefits of it as far as sales and return on investment, this is the tool for you. So any other questions here? I see a good friend of ours, Steve McCarthy's out there asking about ad pages being incorporated into the issue MIB file. Basically, those ad pages have to be one of essentially two formats. It can be a static PDF, JPEG, something like that has to be exported into the production tool itself, or you can build an ad page in Mag Plus. For those of you out there who are entertaining clients and those questions specifically, you can charge a little bit more to create a static ad and bring it to life. We have a few of our clients who are fetching pretty nice fees to add hot links to their clients' sites to drive web traffic and add HTML videos and such. So that's going to be pretty much it for us today. Again, if you reach out to matt@magplus.com, I can fill you in on a few more tricks of the trade, just a little sampling of some cool things our clients are up to. We can get into a little bit more in the next webinar. Any other questions before we log off? Yes, Christina, the web links do stay in the app. It takes you to an in-app browser, so your end user never actually ends up leaving the app itself. You have the option to drive them to Safari, but we always recommend staying within the app so that people don't get lost. You know how people's attention spans can kind of get take you off course. We do currently, with the 3.0 update, offer sharing through Twitter. Facebook is coming with our, I believe it's 3.1 release. Anders can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But for those of you who are looking to be able to offer that to clients or to your corporations, Twitter and email are currently available, and the Facebook will be available 3.1 in February. Any other questions, all? Again, I can be reached at Matt at magplus.com or on Twitter at magplus_Matt, M-A-T-T. Feel free to hit me up with any questions and be in touch with most of you, hopefully. Can't wait to see what you come up with. All right? Enjoy your day, guys.